Boop. Hi everyone, my name is Snutt. I am one of the community managers at Coffee Stain Studios, and wow, we're super glad that you were all so excited over last week's video. The reception of that video has been super good, and we're so glad that you're all so stoked for 1.0 essentially. If you haven't seen that video, there should be a card here somewhere, but yeah, essentially we have announced that 1.0 is coming. Our next milestone that we're working towards is 1.0. There won't be any more updates for Satisfactory in early access. 1.0 is coming. It's coming! Stay calm, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! Today I want to talk about some questions that came from last week's video, and they're mostly going to be pertaining the closed beta. So I just want to make this really short video sort of answering some of those questions, and yeah, that's mainly what this video is going to be about, the closed beta. So we're not going to run a public experimental period for 1.0 like we've done in the past. Instead, we're going to run a closed beta for people to be able to join in and give us that last bit of feedback, and we'll polish it up and use that feedback to be able to make the game as good as it can be for the final release. Anyone can sign up for the closed beta, and you can find a link in the description. And with that being said, let's jump into some of the questions. When will the closed beta run? We don't know when it will be. We're currently working on making the game feature complete. And once we've done that, there's gonna be a little bit of like internal testing to make sure that, you know, when we're in closed beta, that we don't have it so that like people test stuff that we already know is broken and that kind of stuff. So there's gonna be like a bit of an internal testing phase before we actually get to that point. The fuck was that? And then once the game is feature complete, then we're gonna have our own internal testing a little bit to make sure that we don't have like any lingering major issues that, you know, is gonna be evident when we enter closed beta. Because when we enter closed beta, we wanna catch stuff that, you know, we didn't find. So if there's any like issues in the game that we already know of when we enter closed beta, we won't get as much out of it, essentially. So we're gonna have our own internal testing first before, in between feature complete and closed beta. But yeah, once we get to that point, we'll let you all know. It should be sometime within the next couple of months, hopefully, maybe. It depends if we run into complications before then. But yeah, we will let you all know. Will the closed beta be under an NDA? Yes, to participate in the closed beta, you will need to agree to a non-disclosure agreement, meaning that you can't share any information pertaining to the closed beta or the state of the game in beta, essentially. We also ask people that are selected for the closed beta to not relay this information for a couple of reasons. In the past, when we had our closed alpha, we had people sort of bragging that they were part of the closed alpha, and that sort of led to them getting messaged by a bunch of random people, trying to pressure them and harass them into leaking information. So we kind of want to avoid that. It can also lead to, if people are open about being part of the closed beta, it can also lead to them becoming targets for phishing attempts and stuff like that. And we just want to avoid that as much as possible. So we're just going to ask people not to disclose that they're part of the closed beta if they get selected. And this obviously also means that you can't stream or make videos or anything like that for the closed beta. It's all under wraps. Why is it a closed beta and not an open beta? This is because we don't want to unveil everything in 1.0 until like the full release. We sort of want to give you that like last bit of surprise before the game comes out with all the new content that's in it. Yeah, we just want to avoid spoiling that stuff for people. Do I have a higher chance of being selected if I sign up early? Nope, you can sign up whenever. You can sign up right now if you want to, or you can sign up later. You can sign up like a few days before we pull the keys, I guess. It doesn't really matter too much when you sign up. When will people be notified of whether they'll be able to join the closed beta? When the closed beta starts, essentially. We're gonna announce like when we do send out keys for the closed beta. So like the majority of you know when to get disappointed, essentially. Because like a whole lot of you have signed up, and there's not gonna be that many that join the closed beta. But it's super cool that so many people have signed up already, so thanks for being excited, I guess. Sorry to disappoint so many of you. I signed up for the closed alpha. Why do I have to sign up again? Because we don't have any of the signups from the closed alpha, essentially. That's all gone. So if you want to join the closed beta, you have to sign up again, I guess. Will my save file work in closed beta? Yes, but here's a bit of important information, okay? So once the closed beta is over, because the closed beta is only going to be in a limited amount of time, the save file that you've used in closed beta will not work in like older versions of the game, i.e. update 8. The save files are backwards compatible, but since you're playing a newer version, you can't use that in the current live version. So, but that save file will work once we enter 1.0. So any save file that you make in closed beta, you will be able to use that in 1.0 once it's released, but only then. and of course going forward, so at 1.0 and forward. Will we be able to play multiplayer in the closed beta? Yes. Also note that if you sign up for the closed beta and you sign up with the intention to play multiplayer and you have a couple of friends you want to play with in the closed beta, please bear in mind that like if you get selected, we will have a way for you to be able to like sort of invite some of your friends to be able to join. So, you know, not all of you have to be selected to be able to play together. In fact, I think that's kind of unrealistic to expect that that's going to happen. So there will be some way for you to be able to invite some of your friends into the closed beta as well, if you get selected. Will the closed beta include dedicated servers or just regular clients? It's going to be both. However, you will not be able to use any third-party server vendors for that. So you can essentially only play dedicated servers in the closed beta if you have your own server that you're setting up yourself. Will mods work in the closed beta? No, mods will not work in the closed beta. So if you have a save file that you've used mods on that you want to play on in closed beta, then please make sure that that save file works in vanilla first. Do number of hours played factor into who's chosen for the closed beta? So yes and no. We want to select like as a wide spectrum of players as possible. So we do want to have players that have played maybe, you know, thousands of hours of Satisfactory, finished the game completely, seen everything. We also want to test it on people that are, you know, starting out or in between, and also players that have never played the game. So it doesn't really matter how many hours you've played, but we do care how many hours you've played so we can sort of make our selection. But it doesn't matter like how many hours you have when you sign up. So just sign up. Can we share footage from the closed beta later, maybe after the game is released? So no, we most likely will not allow this, and it's due to a couple of reasons that I unfortunately can't really go too deep into in this video. But I want to mention that like there's been a couple of content creators that have reached out to me asking like, hey, is it okay if I document my experience in closed beta and then maybe, you know, release that later? But unfortunately, I think the answer is going to be the same there. I think the answer is no. And it's mainly because the primary purpose of the closed beta is really to get feedback from players. That's mainly why the closed beta is there. And to me, it feels a bit unfair when some content creators, you know, aren't able to do this just because they weren't selected to the beta. We want to be like as fair as possible to anyone. So it kind of feels weird to, you know, allow some but not others, essentially, if that makes sense. And besides, it's not going to be anything in the closed beta that, you know, won't be in 1.0. So it's not like you're going to miss out on something. So hopefully that makes sense. It doesn't matter which platform I own the game on if I want to join the closed beta. Nope, doesn't matter. You can own it on Steam or Epic or not own it at all. It really doesn't matter. Will I need to buy the game again for 1.0 if I already own it? Nope, you bought it, you own it, it's yours. Thanks for supporting us in early access. We couldn't have done it without you. Okay, that's gonna be it for now. Hopefully this is a short video. It's not. Like I mentioned in the last video, we've got a couple of videos lined up for 1.0. We don't know fully when 1.0 is coming out, so we probably won't rush these videos. We're gonna take our time and work on these. So make sure to hit that old subscribe button if you want to be notified when we drop information on 1.0. But until next time, see ya. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I don't feel so good right now. Oh, I should not have done that. Ugh.